A nation rich in history, culture, and amazing landscapes, Peru offers much more than its famous archaeological sites and majestic Andean peaks. Beyond Machu Picchu and Cusco, this South American country is home to a series of curious facts that captivate the imagination and reveal unique aspects of its identity. From its unique culinary traditions that have conquered international palates to the mysterious Nazca lines that defy modern understanding, we will explore a fascinating collection of curiosities that provide a fresh perspective on the diversity and charm of Peru. That is why in this video we will talk about 50 facts about Peru. Immerse yourself in this tour of the hidden and amazing treasures of a land full of surprises in every corner. 1. Bird Paradise. Amazon has great biodiversity. In its Santiago Comena Reserve you will be able to see more than 800 species of birds, among which various varieties of hummingbirds, parrots, and eagles stand out. 2. A cactus town. The name Cajamarca derives from two words in Quechua, cacha, thorns, and brand, town, since the San Pedro cactus or huachuma was abundant in its territory, a plant used in the Sierra for medicinal purposes. 3. Sea of Reed Horses. In the spas of La Libertad you can live the experience of sailing on reed horses like the Machicas did, whom some consider the creators of surfing. These boats are made with stems and leaves of the plant called tatora. 4. The Pyramid Forest. Lambayeque has an impressive archaeological heritage in which Tucum stands out, an ancestral complex in the middle of a forest that is made up of 26 pyramids that measure up to 40 meters high. 5. The Big Turtle. They call those who live in Loreto carapas. The reason? In this region of the jungle lives the carapa, a freshwater turtle considered the largest in America. 6. First place founded by the Spanish. In 1532, the current Payuran town of Tangarara became the first place in Peru founded by the Spanish. There the locals will explain to you that the name of the place derives from the Talan word Tangar Eric, who was the one who governed the town before the conquest. 7. A region with 2 seasons. When you travel to San Martin you will realize that it only has 2 seasons, one dry and one wet. From January to May rain abounds, while from April to December the sun reigns. 8. A different ceviche. Tums is the region where black shell ceviche is prepared, a delicacy accompanied by yuccas and chiffles. Its consumption has increased over the years due to the aphrodisiac benefits that locals attribute to it. 9. One of the best trekking routes. In Ancash you will find the Huayhuash mountain range, considered among the 10 best trekking routes in the world. You will love traveling through it because you will have a landscape surrounded by more than 100 snow-capped peaks. 10. The Ghost Town. Santa Barbara is a town in Huancavelica that housed those who worked in the mine of the same name until its activity stopped and everyone left the place. Today the architectural vestiges of that era have become a tourist attraction. 11. The Best of Climates. In Latin America there are 11 cities that have earned the nickname of City of Eternal Spring. Peru is the only country that has 2 destinations on this list. Trujillo, famous for its sunny climate, and Huánuco, considered the place with the best climate in the world. 12. Squatting and pain-free. In the fair stands of Junín you will see how the merchants spend long hours squatting. Why do they do it? It is a popular display of their physical dominance to show that they can do their job without complaint. 13. The smallest church in the world. The Chapel of the Bridge or Chapel of Our Lady of the Rosary, located in Lima, is famous for being the smallest in the world with only 50 square meters, although its size does not prevent it from having all the objects that are in large churches. 14. The Meeting of 3 Rivers. Right in the center of Peru is the Nudo de Pasco, the most important hydrographic center in the country, where you can see the distribution in different directions of the flow of the rivers, Marañón, Hualaga, and Mantaro. 15. Imposing waterfalls. Ucayali is the only region that has a corridor with waterfalls, a route where you will visit 2 of the most popular waterfalls in this region, El Velo de la Novia and La Duca del Diablo. 16. One of the deepest canyons in America. The Apurimac Canyon is considered one of the deepest on the continent. Due to its formation you will see how the waters of the Apurimac River come down strongly from about 5,000 meters high. 17. Where does the Amazon River originate? At the foot of the snow-capped Mismi, located in the Arequipa province of Caloma, the largest river in the world is born. A mountain more than 5,000 meters high from where you can appreciate the deep ravines of the Calca Valley. 18. City of Churches. The capital of the Ayacucho region has 37 Catholic temples of Renaissance, Baroque, and Mestizo styles. Inside you can see works of art such as paintings, sculptures, and altarpieces bathed in gold leaf. 19. New species of birds in Huaquina. Visit the Huaquina Oasis in Ica and meet 8 new species of birds that have not been seen before in its surroundings. Among these feathered birds are the kuka heron, the red-headed buzzard, and the cinnamon-backed hawk. 20. City shaped like a puma. The city of Cusco has the shape of a lying puma, an animal that was considered mythical and supreme not only by the Inca Empire but also by other pre-Columbian civilizations. 21. A region larger than several countries. Madre de Dios is the third largest region in Peru. Visit it and explore its 85,300 square kilometers that make it a territory that exceeds in size European countries such as Austria, Luxembourg, Monaco, Malta, and the Vatican. 22. Mountain shaped like a trunk. In the middle of the Torata River Valley in Moquegua you will find a mountain shaped like a trunk. If you reach its summit you will see a small walled citadel of wary origin where the Andean population continues to perform their ritual ceremonies to the Apis. 23. City submerged in Lake Titicaca. This lake in Puno is not only the highest in the world. At a depth of 30 meters are the ruins of a temple as large as 2 football fields, which according to researchers was built about 1,500 years ago. 24. Path of statues and tombstones. The Presbítero Sebastián Ramón Sors Cemetery Museum in Tacna hides a walk of beautiful statues and tombstones, a path that will lead you to a mausoleum of fine marble inaugurated in 1885. 25. The origin of the name of Peru, a tribute to the abundance of the Inca Empire. The name Peru comes from the name of a chief from southern Panama. In Quechua it means abundance. This adjective arises thanks to the riches of the ancient Inca Empire. 26. The magical Vinicunca, the growing fascination with the mountain of colors. Vinicunca, also called Colorful Mountain, Rainbow Mountain, or Red Hill, is an impressive mountain that is characterized by its wide range of colors and has gained a lot of popularity in recent years, although to visit it you must be prepared as it is more than 5,200 meters above sea level. The sea level. 27. The influence of the Baira chief, the origin of the name Peru at the time of the Spanish conquest. The name Peru comes from the time of the Spanish conquest. In those years the Spanish could not go further south of Panama because of the Darien jungle, and it was not until they heard stories that there was a very rich chief south of this jungle that they decided to sail in search of him. 28. This chief lived in the current Chaco region of Colombia and was called Bairo. Due to this chief, the unknown territory south of Panama became known as Bairo and colloquially as Peru due to a change in pronunciation to make it more comfortable. Then the Spanish created the Viceroyalty of Peru, and later different viceroyalties would be created from this. But the Viceroyalty of Peru would not change its name later when the territory of the Viceroyalty of Peru became independent. He would decide to keep his viceregal name, which continues to this day. 29. Natural and cultural treasure, the splendor of Lake Titicaca and its pre-Columbian sites. Lake Titicaca, which it shares with Bolivia, is the highest navigable lake in the world, the second largest lake in South America, only after Lake Maracaibo. In it and its surroundings you can find a large number of pre-Columbian sites as well as artificial islands created from reeds where people live permanently. 30. Unparalleled climate diversity, the 8 natural regions and climate variability in Peru. Due to its latitudinal location between the equator and 18 degrees south latitude, Peru would only have a warm and rainy climate like Brazil. However, the existence of the Andes mountain range, the South Pacific anticyclone, the Peruvian ocean current, and the El Niño current have turned Peru into one of the countries with the greatest climatic variation in the world. It has a total of 8 natural regions. 31. The lost jewel of the Incas, the majestic sanctuary of Machu Picchu and its revealing discovery. Probably one of the most impressive and representative monuments of Inca culture globally is without a doubt the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu, located 2,430 meters above sea level where the Andes mountain range and the Amazon jungle converge. Although incredibly it was unknown to the rest of the world until 1912 when its discovery was published in the National Geographic magazine. 32. Preserving biodiversity. Peru and its vast extension of protected areas comparable to countries like Syria or Uruguay. Peru has 14% of its surface protected by national parks, giving a total of 179,930 square kilometers of protected areas. This figure is not small at all as it is comparable to that of large countries such as Syria or Uruguay. 33. A mosaic of traditions, the multicultural wealth of Peru reflected in its countless festivities. Peru is a multicultural country, and that is why it has various festivities that are presented throughout the national territory that are totally different from each other. If we add all the civic festivities of the entire Peruvian territory, we arrive at approximately 6,000 festivities a year, that is, 16 festivities a day. Although the festivities of Santa Rosa de Lima and the Lord of Miracles are the most widespread. 34. The cradle of American civilization, Carroll and the ancient legacy of Andean culture. Carroll is the oldest city in America, more than 5,000 years old. This is the headquarters of the first Andean civilization, forging the foundations of its own unique organization. This culture, together with Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, China, and Mesoamerica, are the original centers of culture in the world. 35. The national flavor, Inca Kola, the iconic drink that surpasses Coca-Cola in Peru. Peru is one of the few countries in the world where Coca-Cola is not the most consumed drink. The one that is present on all special occasions and that cannot be missing from a table is the famous Inca Kola, a drink that only has the name Inca, but from its beginnings in 1935 until today it has managed to surpass the sales of Coca-Cola. In Peru. 36. A vast territory, Peru, the third largest country in South America after Brazil and Argentina. Peru has a total area of 1,285,216 square kilometers. This makes it the third largest country in South America, only surpassed by countries as extensive as Brazil and Argentina. 37. The growing metropolis, Lima, from the City of Kings to the fifth most populated city in Latin America. At the beginning of the 17th century, the city of Lima, which in those years was also called the City of Kings, had only 25,954 inhabitants. Today, approximately 300 years later, Lima is the fifth most populated city in Latin America with around 10,500,000 inhabitants, meaning a third of the Peruvian population concentrated in the city. 38. Natural wonder in Peru, the impressive Cotahuasi Canyon, twice as deep as the Grand Canyon of the Colorado. The Grand Canyon of Colorado is the most famous canyon in the world, but one of the most spectacular and deep is not located in the United States but in Peru, 400 kilometers from Arequipa. It is the imposing Cotahuasi Canyon. At 3,535 meters deep, it is twice the size of the Grand Canyon of Colorado. 39. A historical milestone, Gladys Sender Urbina, the first Latin American and Peruvian Miss Universe in 1957. Peru became the first Latin American and Spanish-speaking country to win the Miss Universe crown, thanks to the Peruvian Gladys Sender Urbina in 1957. 40. Culinary delight, Peruvian gastronomy, a feast of influences and flavors with more than 500 typical dishes. The food of Peru, in addition to the native cuisine, has influences from Spanish cuisine from sub-Saharan Africa, Chinese, Cantonese, Japanese, French, Italian, among others, making Peruvian cuisine one of the most diverse in the world. It has about 500 typical dishes recorded. 41. The vibrant Asian influence, the Chinese and Japanese community in Lima, an ancestral legacy in Peru. The largest Chinese community in Latin America lives in Lima. The second Japanese community on the entire continent. The majority of them entered Peru through the port of Callao starting in 1849. For this reason, it is estimated that 10% of the Peruvian population has at least some ancestor of Chinese origin. 42. Recognized archaeological treasures, the 10 cultural heritage sites of humanity in Peru. In Peru, there are a large number of archaeological sites from hundreds of different cultures that inhabited this territory in the past, totaling approximately 100,000 sites. However, only 10 are considered cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. 43. The green treasure of Peru, a country with abundant Amazon rainforest and extensive tropical forests. Although Peru is generally known for its Andean zone, this is the second country with the most Amazon rainforest, only after Brazil. In fact, due to its extension, this country occupies fourth place in the world as a holder of tropical forests, as well as the ninth position among the nations with the largest forest area on the planet, given that more than 60% of its territory is made up of forests. 44. A centennial academic legacy, the University of San Marcos, the oldest institution in America founded in 1551. The University of San Marcos is the oldest university founded by royal charter in America. It has been operating uninterruptedly since 1551, the year in which King Charles I of Spain ruled. 45. The enigma of the ancient geoglyphs, the mysterious Nazca lines and their impressive figures drawn from the ground. The Nazca lines are ancient geoglyphs located in the center of the desert of the same name. These stand out for being composed of figures that have various designs. These shapes can be geometric, morphous, phytomorphic, and extend over an area of 450 square kilometers. The lengths of these impressive figures range between 50 and 300 meters. The mystery of these geoglyphs lies in how complex it could have been to create them from the ground because they are stylized figures made with a single stroke. 46. The power of the Andes, Peruvian glaciers and lakes that feed the majestic Amazon River. The Peruvian Andes have more than 50 peaks above 6,000 meters in altitude with 1,769 glaciers and 1,200 lakes. These are vital for the formation of ice that then flows to lower lands. These same waters are what mainly feed the flow of the Amazon River, which is the largest river in the world. 47. The inaccessible city, Iquitos, the metropolis unique in its isolation without land connections. Iquitos is a large city that has no road communication. You can only get there by river or by plane, being the largest city in the world in this condition of isolation. 48. A tiny sanctuary, La Parroquia de Nuestra Señora del Rosario, the smallest church in the world in Rimac, Lima. In Peru there is the smallest church in the world located in Rimac, Lima. The parish of Our Lady of the Rosary is considered the smallest church in the world. 49. A giant in the tropics, the Quelquea Glacier, the largest glacier in the tropical zone of the world. The Quelquea Glacier is located in the southeast of Peru in the Vilcanota mountain range, an extension of the eastern Andes mountain range, with a length that exceeds 17 kilometers, a surface area of 44 square kilometers and an ice layer with more than 200 meters thick. It is the largest glacier in the entire tropical zone of the world. 50. Camelid diversity in the Peruvian Andes, llamas, alpacas, guanacos and vicuñas, the emblematic species of the region. Although camelids are popularly associated with the desert countries of Africa and Asia, in Peru and the Andes there are more species of camelids than in the rest of the world: the llama, the alpaca, the guanaco and the vicuña, while on the other continents there are only 3 more species: the wild camel, the Asian camel and the dromedary. And in this way we would be reaching the end of the video. Remember to leave your thumb up to support our project as well as subscribe. Leave me in the comments, what do you think about this data? Did you know the information we provide you today? We will be happy to read it. Thank you very much in advance for watching the video and we'll see you next time.